What's happening, everybody? Good to see everybody here. Thank y'all for joining us for our next installment of Who is the Fabulous Equinox Orchestra?
The band is made up of absolute ninjas, and the guy that we got on deck for you today is absolutely no exception. He's one of the smartest, most talented, most amazing human beings that I personally have ever met.
Yes, we've never hired anyone smarter.
I can't
than
disagree with any of that.
Of course he can. Of course he can.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, the lovely, the talented Aaron Lehrian. Aaron, how are you?
So happy you're here, buddy. What are you up to this morning?
Drinking some coffee. I made a French omelet. Reading some math books.
Oh, we got a lot to get through. There's a whole lot in that statement.
All right, drinking coffee. You had a French omelet, which I don't even know what that is. And then you're reading some math books. So we either have to get some counseling for you, or we need
or figure out how to harness this intellect in a way that's going to make us all money.
All right, Aaron. So let's start with the basics. Where are you coming to us live from? Where do you live? What's your age? What's your address?
So yeah, I'm 25. This is my apartment in Riverside in Jacksonville, and been here half a year or so now. Been in Jacksonville for 6 years, but at this current apartment for like half a year.
Where did you grow up?
So Tampa Bay, Florida, kind of in between like St. Petersburg, Tampa, Clearwater.
Right on, right on. Are your parents as smart as you? That's a loaded question.
Carefully answer this question. Carefully answer this question. We've met your parents. They seem like great people.
They are awesome.
They're great people. Yeah, they're good folks.
So what about your education? Where'd you go to get so smart?
So I went to UNF, got a jazz degree, which the best degree you can get.
Of course, loads of value there.
All you high school students, are you listening to this advice?
But you're way smarter than just an average dude with the jazz performance deal. Do you study composition, or do you just do that on your own? What's your story there?
I was on my own. I mean, they make you take 1 or 2 semesters of jazz composition, But I mean, it's basically on my own. I just love to learn things and study things on my own.
That's crazy.
Well, you are gifted in many areas.
What we didn't say was he's our piano player. Aaron is our wonderful piano player, but not just our piano player.
No, he has arranged some of the greatest music that we have ever had in the band in the history of the 20 years we've been doing this. We've had several guys who kind of been on staff, if you will. They're kind of part of our regular team that have written for us. And we have a lot of great material that came that way. But I have to say that some of the stuff that Aaron has put together recently has been the most outstanding. I was watching a video of the show we did in Hilton Head. I think you dropped 2 or maybe 3 brand new ones that day, right?
Yeah, and if I recall, I think you did them on the drive down or something. Weren't you just hold on, I'm almost finished with the last half of this song. Give me 10 more minutes and I'll finish these 2 songs.
I've learned that nothing stirs the creative juices like a deadline.
Yes.
Aha.
Pressure is on. You did a spectacular version of Skylark, which I asked you to change the key for me. Which great. No worries there, I'm sure.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem.
That's like a click of a button.
I mean, it changes everything, all the orchestrations I know, and I hope it's not a big pain in the butt.
Should be okay.
And then you also did you do My Shining Hour or Charade? What all was it?
Charade.
Yeah, Charade. Yeah.
It did Goody Goody.
Yes, an old Johnny Mercer too.
Oh man, yeah, I did a whole bunch of good stuff.
If you follow us on Facebook and all that, the In Crowd was an arrangement that Aaron did. He also did that really cool version of Victory in Jesus, and several of the ones the hymns that we did, right?
Yeah, I mean he's done a lot.
So, are you a better piano player or a better arranger at this point in your career?
I think they both feed into each other. The more I arrange, the more I play in a way that serves the rest of the band, I think. And then the more I practice, the more ideas I get for arranging. So I think they kind of go together.
They do. Which one do you enjoy best?
Oh man, that's really tough. I almost have to say arranging, because there's something really magical about having something on a sheet of paper, and then you bring it in, and it's brought to life, and I really enjoy that a lot.
We can only live through your eyeballs on that one, brother.
I would
That's
have
above our pay grade.
It sounds amazing.
It does. I can imagine that being a special thing. I mean, even seriously, just watching it through your eyes, listening to the music come alive and just seeing your reaction to it, I know that's a special thing. I can really appreciate that, and I only wish that our late friend Ralph Mitchell had been around long enough to meet you. He was he was such an enthusiast over the band. He loved the arrangements. We used to joke about the fact that he knew more about the arrangements than we did, because he would study it and loved arranging. And I know that he would absolutely love you to death for sure.
So you are, like we mentioned earlier, you're one of the youngest guys that are in the band with us right now. What's some of your musical influences? Like, what do you like to listen to? Where do you draw your greatest inspiration from musically? All that kind of good stuff.
So I mean, I love. Well, growing up, I listened to like classical music and jazz, and it wasn't until
Like most
college
kids,
that it-
most kids listen to
Yeah,
classical.
like
Most children, classical music and jazz.
Maybe Mozart aside.
The Baby Einstein videos.
It took like having to, once I got to college and then doing other gigs and stuff, where I kind of started to explore pop and rock and other styles of music.
That is like
We're
such.
pretty much the opposite
so
of that.
backwards, I know.
I mean, I don't even know how many other kids.
Your grandmother taught you how to play piano,
Yes.
didn't she? So that had a lot to do with it, I'm sure.
Yeah, she taught me for 6 or 7 years, I think, until somewhere in middle school I switched to another teacher. But yeah, she taught me when I was 5.
So here's the lesson, America. If you want your kids to be smart, make them listen to jazz and classical music when they're little.
Don't let them listen to Johnny Cash and Elvis and Beatles.
Let them listen to that stuff, and then when they get later in life, they can be introduced to this new music. Like, who is this Michael Jackson
What is
character?
this
I've never
guy?
heard of this.
What are these simple chords?
I can lose half my fingers and still play these chords. You posted a funny video a few weeks ago, and it said shedding, like the rest of us musicians are practicing or whatever. But it was like a math equation. What in the world is that about?
Shedding.
So that's lately I've been working on my calculus, just brushing up because
Wait,
think it's
you say you've
fun.
been working on your calc? Is that the math where the math books come into play? Reading math
yeah.
books?
So actually I have
Oh no, please.
I keep this on my desk at all times.
Well, just like us.
And I-
We always have a calculus
Not
book.
one, but 2 graphing calculators.
Yeah, so you can store it. You can cheat and store your chemistry.
So you know how to
formulas in.
use a graphing calculator. That's what's amazing. I mean, I don't know how to
That's
use
what I
a
was
graphing
saying.
calculator.
I still have mine from college, and the only thing it did was store information that I was supposed to have memorized in the memory
Cheat on
banks.
the test.
That's all. I apologize, Louisiana Tech, for that.
Y'all, this man right here is
He's so
brilliant.
smart.
So you like math?
What's the story with that? Tell me what the appeal to you is on that.
It's just my whole life I've
He's a
really
genius.
enjoyed math. I actually find some parallels between music and math.
Okay,
For sure,
well,
I
that
can see
makes
that.
sense.
Explain that. Talk a little bit about that.
I mean, just the way like music, everything fits together beautifully, and like, if you know something in one key, it translates to all the other keys, and I don't know. I mean, and you can get to like the frequencies like A440, and then like an octave up is 880, and it's like a logarithmic scale. I mean, there's just a lot of math that's built into
No,
music.
it's funny because we had a gig.
I'm sure the look on my face is like complete perplexion.
As
Like,
we say in Louisiana, staring at like a cow staring at a new gate.
there are words coming
No
out.
idea
There are words, but
what to make of it. We're like, he okay.
So when I think of music and math, I think of like Philip. Is it Philip Glass? Is that the guy's name?
Well,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah. I mean,
1, 2.
I don't really like that stuff quite as much because I feel like that's just taking all the creativity.
all the fun out of.
I wanted to say something about there was a Philip Glass piece. I remember that we were in college. Clay and I were the only non-majors. He remember this is probably 20 years ago.
The dance group came out and danced there, right?
Oh no! I remember this guy was. I remember it was like a euphonium player, and he had like a 4-valve euphonium. We were the only non-majors in this master class, and he had like the 4th valve rigged up to like a kazoo, or one of those whistles or something. Anyway, and then he played this other part, which actually was super heavy if you knew the backstory. But I think we walked in the middle and didn't know the backstory. He's just sitting there looking at the music stand, holding a trombone. And all of a sudden, after like 3 minutes of total silence, he just starts going, "Oh!" You remember? He starts screaming. And we lose it, right? Everybody else is like, we're laughing so hard. Turned out that the story behind it was this. I'm sorry, I'm yelling here in our little library. People are gonna be mad at me. The story behind it was a story about an old trombone player who couldn't play anymore, and he put his horn together, and he was just horrified by the fact that his whole life had come and gone, and he couldn't play anymore.
Please don't write music like that.
Please don't write music like that.
No, that's not
Let's
what the
never
world
speak
needs.
of this again. Let's
Fire me.
never speak of this again.
So, what other hobbies do you have, Aaron, besides showing up the world in calculus?
Let's see. The next one I guess I'll tell you about is
Oh, and the next one. There's several.
lock picking.
You got to be kidding me. What?
Lock picking.
Elaborate.
Yeah. So if I ever get mad at you and
Come after us.
you lock your house, you might be a little worried here.
You've learned how to pick locks for real?
Yep.
The heck?
That's like a what's the guy's name? Sherlock Holmes thing to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about the lock picking thing.
I knew you guys didn't know that.
That's awesome.
Actually frightening. So let's move on. What else? Something a little.
You got another trick up your sleeve, I'm certain.
A little less delinquent that we can talk about.
Here's this airplane here.
Oh
that's
my
cool.
gosh. Is this
So this one I built from scratch myself.
What?
And this is the very plane that scarred my body.
Oh.
that smashed into you?
This is the one.
That,
So-
like pre-gig.
Wait, it has something to do with your
Yeah.
nipple, right? Something that was it a?
So it was sitting on the counter like this. I had just finished building it, and I was like checking all the electronics, making sure it worked. The propeller was on there, So I bumped into the controller on accident, and everything was on, and it turned on and started moving forward, fell off the counter, hit me, went through my shirt,
Oh.
and sliced my nipple.
That is a textbook example of the worst day ever. Jeez.
So I'm
Kids.
like clutching like this. My roommate's right next to me. I put a big Band-Aid over it and bled through the first one. And
Good. Yeah, that's a wound that probably takes a minute to heal, I suppose.
yeah. Like,
All right,
a few months
that
ago,
hurts
like,
too bad to think about. Let's move on. Let's quit talking about nipples. All right, so you do airplanes, you do lock picking, you do calculus. What else? You got many more, I'm sure.
Here's another one.
Ooh, is this
Oh, that's a-
astronomy? Is that a telescope?
Yep.
Man, that's awesome. That thing looks like it's high powered.
So
It's
that
all right, yeah.
you just like to look at it, or do you like chart them? Like, can you sail a
I
ship
just,
by it?
every
and all
now and
that
then I'll go out and look at the moon or Jupiter or Saturn or something.
That's cool.
Just for fun.
I was trying to get to the whole cooking thing.
Yes, I
cooking
know
is
that-
involved. That's
I know that you like to cook.
I forgot about cooking. Yes, I love to cook. Especially during the quarantine, I've had a lot of time to like develop different recipes. I've worked on my pizza recipe. Been doing pasta from scratch. Been making
Jeez.
corn tortillas from scratch.
Man. You got to take another tour. So we
I
can
got a spare room at my house. I'm just saying, if you want to move to Savannah,
One day we were going somewhere, and Aaron was on his computer the entire time, and I said, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I'm watching cooking videos." I was like, "Awesome!" That's not what everybody else in the band watches when they're watching the computer. But he's watching cooking videos.
no, that's super cool. Well, any certain memories. I'll let you think about this because I was thinking about memories with Equinox. You haven't been with us that long, but I know that you came to Israel with us, and I know that I have the greatest picture of you on the back of a camel, which we'll probably insert here.
Click.
Because that was a good time. Any other memories that stand out with the whole Equinox crew?
Man, Israel was so fun. I mean, that was one of the best, 1 or 2 weeks of my life.
That's awesome. That's all. It was for me
I
too.
mean, there's always that gig at the swamp with the power issues.
Oh, when we
was
blew
that?
everything up.
And you left and went to a Walmart or something to get a fuse. Didn't you do something like that?
Yeah, my keyboard broke
Yeah,
because
I
of the
remember
power
that.
issues.
Yeah. That's
along
right.
with everything
The fuse
else.
blew, and I had to find like a Lowe's or a Home Depot and buy a new fuse, come back, put it in,
That's right.
do all this electric work to repair my keyboard, and finish the gig.
Speaking of other hobbies, you also know a lot about computers and electrical things and
Programming, yeah.
Hacking the
electrics.
mainframe.
hacking mainframes. Yes.
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 Incredible. Y'all, that's great skill. You need somebody like Aaron in your life at all times.
But listen, there's only one Aaron, and he's with us.
That's right.
So
You
hands
can't
off.
get this guy. not
Hands
this guy.
off.
He's with us.
I've been called Tommy's Tommy,
I love it. Look, you truly are one of the most gifted guys. I mean, you play beautifully, you arrange beautifully, and always easy going. I mean, a lot of times we kind of joke about it. There's guys who play great, and there's guys who are exceptional on their instrument, and then there's some guys that are just maybe they have a great skill set, but they're kind of they can be difficult to deal with, or they can be difficult to negotiate when you're in extended time together, whatever. And I don't know, man. I think you're gifted beyond measure, and you're always easy to get along with. And we're thrilled to have you on the team, buddy.
That's right.
Thank you. It's great to be on the team.
Is there any message you'd like to share with America as we close out today?
I mean, I think we all need to just take a step back and show some empathy towards each other.
That's a good word. I agree. Anything?
Terrible times right now. I feel like.
For sure. Anything noteworthy about the whole COVID time? I know you've been with us on pretty much every week. We've done these shows for the last 13 to 14 weeks.
I mean, I've been getting to stay home and do all the things I like to do, so I've been kind of enjoying it.
Well, that's cool. It's funny. We talked about that. I was like, I knew you lived by yourself, and I was like, man, one or two things is going to happen. Either you're totally lonely and bummed out and depressed. But I remember I asked you that question. He's like, no, I'm having a blast. I don't have to deal with anybody.
An introvert's dream, right? Oh, good. We get to be quarantined. That's amazing. Well, listen, Aaron, you're awesome, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it right here. Have more empathy for each other.
Yes.
This
Amen.
is our boy giving some good wisdom to the world. Thanks so much, Aaron. Appreciate you, brother.
We love you, pal. God
you.
bless you, man.
You too, man. Thanks for having me.
You bet, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.